Hi friends, my name is Nikhil. Today I am going to show a CPU what is inside the CPU. You can see I have a CPU in the camera. Now I am showing outside of the CPU. Front of the CPU what is there inside, what is there in the front of the CPU. You can see there is a power button and the reboot button. Reboot button is used to computer to reboot the computer, and there is a two LED light. One is hard disk light and the CPU light. Hard disk light is used so hard disk is running or not, and one is CPU and two USB and two other two headphones. Now I am going to show back side of the CPU what is there. You can see there is a fan of CPU and the power supplier. In all and there they used to connect mouse in that two mouse and keyboard in all and days. Computer PC connection. One is big TV connector. These two are PC connector and USB, 4 USB and internal connector used to connect internet. There are 3 headphones used to connect to headphones. Now I am going to show what is inside the CPU. Now I am trying to open the CPU and let's see what is inside. I am also excited to see what is inside the CPU. You can see there is a 2 screw given. Now I am trying to open the 2 screws and show what is inside the CPU. Open the CPU. Now in my CPU there is the 2 screws. So I found the 2 screws showing the chip. I am opening the one side of the CPU and you can see there is so many parts inside the CPU. Now also one part of the CPU. You can see there is a power supply, a hard disk and two RAM. That is 2 GB RAM as motherboard fan and the PC, CPU and the motherboard. Now I am going to show a detail what is inside. You can see there is a power supply and a hard disk to store the files in that hard disk. There is a 2 RAM that are installed in CPU. A small CPU inside a box of motherboard fan to be cool, and the motherboard would not damage, so they get two motherboard fan and a motherboard. These are the types of material that I found inside the CPU.